Washington is filled with chilling places where horror films and real ghost stories meet. Old hospitals, lonely forests, haunted cemeteries, and eerie lighthouses have all been used in scary movies. These locations hold strange whispers, dark legends, and unexplained events, making Washington one of the most haunted filming destinations in the USA. Now we will visit the most haunted film locations in the USA. Number 1. Thornwood Castle in Lakewood. Thornwood Castle in Lakewood looks peaceful from the outside, but inside it feels like the walls breathe with old secrets. Built in the early 1900s, the mansion has dark halls, hidden corners, and rooms where the air suddenly turns cold. Many visitors say they hear soft footsteps when no one is around, and some claim that a woman in a long gown appears on the staircase before fading away. Lights flicker, doors close on their own, and guests often feel watched, even when standing alone. The castle carries a heavy, unsettling silence, as if the past refuses to rest. This eerie atmosphere made it a perfect filming location for Stephen King's Rose Red 2002, which used the castle for its haunted mansion scenes. During filming, several actresses and crew members reported terrifying incidents. One actress felt someone grip her shoulder in an empty hallway. Another saw a shadow glide across a wall even though no lights were behind her. A cameraman dropped his equipment after seeing a figure standing in a mirror behind him, only to turn around and find nothing there. Late at night, the crew heard whispers on the third floor, and one actor said he woke up to a knocking sound on his door that stopped every time he moved closer. Even the director admitted that the castle felt too real, as if the building was quietly watching them recreate its darkest moments. These chilling experiences made Thornwood Castle more than just a filming location. It became one of the most unsettling and unforgettable haunted places in Washington. Number 2. Northern State Hospital in Sedro-Woolley. Northern State Hospital in Sedro-Woolley is one of those places where silence feels heavier than sound. Opened in 1912, it was once a massive psychiatric hospital with dark wards, lonely tunnels, and abandoned treatment rooms. When you walk through it today, the air feels thick and cold, and every step echoes like someone is following close behind. People often report shadow figures slipping past doorways, and many hear soft crying coming from empty rooms. Some visitors smell old medicine or hear metal clanging, even though nothing is there. The hospital carries a deep sadness, as if the walls still remember every scream and every secret. This unsettling energy drew filmmakers to use it for chilling scenes in The Ward 2011 and several other indie horror productions. During filming, the cast and crew faced terrifying moments they never expected. One actress suddenly froze after feeling a hand brush her hair, even though no one was standing near her. Another actor fainted when he saw a figure in a hospital gown slowly crossing the hallway behind him, disappearing before anyone else could see it. A crew member said the sound of footsteps followed him through the basement, matching his pace exactly, stopping only when he ran. Inside the old treatment wing, cameras repeatedly malfunctioned, batteries drained in minutes, and lights flickered so violently that filming had to stop. One night, a scream echoed through the hallway, sending the entire team searching the building. They found nothing, no animals, no people, just a long corridor growing darker at both ends. Northern State Hospital doesn't just look haunted, it feels alive in a very disturbing way. The ghosts of its past seem to rise whenever someone enters, and during filming, it showed the cast exactly why it's known as one of Washington's most terrifying places. Number 3. Georgetown Steam Plant in Seattle. The Georgetown Steam Plant in Seattle stands like a rusted giant from another time, its towering pipes and dark metal rooms holding a strange, unsettling silence. Built in 1906, it is filled with echoing chambers, narrow catwalks, and shadowy corners where the light never seems to reach. Visitors often feel sudden cold blasts of air, hear footsteps clanging on metal stairs, and sense someone watching from above. Some people claim to hear a deep humming voice inside the turbine room, as if the building itself is trying to speak. The plant's emptiness feels alive, and every shift of old metal seems like a warning. The strange energy of this place made it the perfect filming location for the eerie movie Cthulhu 2007 and several short horror projects. During filming, the cast experienced moments that left them shaken. One actress reported seeing a tall figure standing behind a boiler, but when the crew checked, the space was completely empty. An actor felt a strong push on his back while crossing a catwalk, even though no one was close enough to touch him. The pressure was so forceful that he refused to walk that area again. Sound technicians complained that their microphones kept picking up faint breathing and heavy footsteps, even when the entire room was still. In the lowest chamber, a crew member dropped his flashlight after seeing a shadow crawl upward along a pipe. When the light hit the wall, the shadow vanished instantly. Late at night, the director heard the metal stairs shaking as if someone was running up them. But every time he checked, the plant was completely silent. These terrifying experiences made the Georgetown steam plant more than a filming site. It became a place where the thin line between reality and fear felt brutally real. Number 4. Gas Works Park in Seattle. Gas Works Park in Seattle looks peaceful during the day, but when night falls, the old industrial towers and rusted pipes feel like they are hiding something. Once a gasification plant, the site is filled with dark metal structures, empty chambers, and strange echoes that bounce through the air. People walking here after sunset often report hearing clanks and footsteps from inside the abandoned machinery. Some feel icy winds pass by them even on warm nights. A few have even seen figures standing on the highest platforms, only for them to vanish when approached. The whole area carries an uneasy feeling, as if the past workers never truly left. This unsettling atmosphere captured the attention of filmmakers, and the location was used in the eerie thriller scenes of 10 Things I Hate About You 1999 and later in various supernatural short films. Even though the movie wasn't horror, the film crews still experienced chilling moments. One actress felt someone tug the bottom of her jacket while walking near the towers, but no one was behind her. A cameraman said he kept seeing something moving inside the shadows of a metal pit, though every time he checked it was empty. During a night shoot for a horror short, a crew member heard a low whisper calling his name from inside a locked room. When they finally opened the door, it was cold enough to see their breath, even though the rest of the park was warm. Actors also reported hearing footsteps circling them while filming near the playground area. Yet no footprints appeared on the ground. Gas Works Park may be a public space today, but its old machines still seem to hold secrets. The actors who filmed here learned that the night has its own stories, and some of them are far more frightening than anything written in a script. Number 5. Fox Island Bridge in Washington. Fox Island Bridge in Washington is more than just a crossing over water. It's a place where shadows seem to linger long after sunset. Locals whisper that strange figures appear along the sides of the bridge at night, and drivers often report seeing someone step onto the roadway, only to vanish the moment headlights get close. The cold, salty wind carries strange sounds, faint footsteps, distant whispers, and sometimes the hollow cry of someone calling for help. The bridge creaks underfoot, even when no one is walking, and visitors often feel a presence watching them from the dark water below. It's a lonely, eerie place where reality seems to bend, and the feeling of being followed never leaves you. This haunting energy drew filmmakers to use the bridge in the chilling scenes of The Ring 2002, where the location added a natural sense of dread. During filming, several crew members experienced incidents that shook them deeply. One actress felt a cold hand brush her arm while standing on the bridge, even though no one was near her. Another actor saw a dark figure standing motionless at the far end, but when he ran toward it, the figure had completely disappeared. A cameraman reported that his equipment would mysteriously fail whenever he pointed it toward certain parts of the bridge. At night, the sound of splashing echoed below, though no one was swimming, and several actors said they felt unseen eyes tracking their movements. Even the director admitted that filming there felt unnerving, as if the bridge itself wanted to be part of the story. Fox Island Bridge remains one of Washington's most terrifying filming locations, where the real fear sometimes surpasses what the camera can capture. Number 6. Govan Ghost Town in Washington. Govan Ghost Town in Washington is a place frozen in time, where abandoned buildings and crumbling streets seem to whisper forgotten stories. Once a thriving mining town, it now stands silent, except for the creak of rotting wood and the occasional gust of wind that sounds like distant voices. Visitors often report cold spots in the open air, sudden chills that run down their spines, and shadowy figures moving between the deserted storefronts. Some swear they hear children laughing or the faint clang of a miner's pickaxe, even though the town has been empty for decades. Walking through Govan feels like stepping into a world where the past refuses to rest. The town's eerie energy made it a perfect location for indie horror films, such as Ghost Town Terror 2017 and short supernatural thrillers. During filming, actors and crew faced spine-chilling incidents. One actress froze in the middle of a street when she felt someone brush past her shoulder, but no one was there. Another actor saw a dark figure standing in a doorway, watching, and as he approached, it vanished into the empty building. Crew members reported equipment failing mysteriously, with cameras turning off on their own during night shoots. At dusk, the sound of footsteps following the cast through the empty streets was common. One night, a low, guttural whisper echoed from inside the abandoned saloon, stopping only when the crew fled outside. Even the director admitted that filming in Govan was more unnerving than any scripted scare. Govan Ghost Town isn't just a backdrop, it's alive with the restless energy of its past, making it one of Washington's most terrifying and haunted film locations. Number 7. Snoqualmie Falls in Washington. Snoqualmie Falls in Washington is breathtaking by day, but once evening settles, the thundering water and mist-filled air create an eerie atmosphere that feels almost alive. The roar of the falls hides strange whispers, and visitors often report seeing misty human shapes drifting near the cliffs. Some claim to feel sudden chills or the sensation of unseen hands lightly touching their backs. The area has long been linked to native legends of spirits lingering in the rushing water, and many hikers say they have heard distant cries or footsteps following them along the dark trails. The deeper you go, the more you feel watched by something ancient and restless. The haunting beauty of Snoqualmie Falls made it a key filming site for the supernatural series Twin Peaks 1990 and later scenes in Twin Peaks: The Return 2017. During production, several cast and crew members experienced frightening moments. One actress felt someone gently tug her hair while shooting near the overlook, even though no one stood close. An actor reported seeing a white figure glide across the rocks below the falls, vanishing into the mist before the cameras could capture it. Cameramen struggled with malfunctioning equipment, especially near the waterfall's edge, where batteries drained instantly. During one night shoot, the crew heard heavy footsteps approaching through the forest, but the path remained empty. A sound technician claimed he recorded a whisper saying, "Leave," even though everyone around him was silent. Snoqualmie Falls is more than a scenic landmark. It carries a powerful, mysterious presence. Actors who filmed here left believing that the falls hold secrets the living aren't meant to understand, making it one of Washington's most haunting filming locations. Number 8. Paramount Theater in Seattle. The Paramount Theater in Seattle stands proudly with its glowing marquee, but behind its elegant charm lies a chilling history that makes many visitors feel uneasy the moment they walk inside. People often report cold spots drifting across the main hall, as if someone unseen is silently passing by. Ushers refuse to work alone on the upper balconies because they hear chairs creaking and see shadowy figures sitting where no one is booked. Late at night, a ghostly man in an old-fashioned suit is seen wandering backstage before disappearing into thin air. Some guests say that the theater breathes, lights flicker, curtains sway, and soft whispers echo from empty corners, leaving even the bravest trembling. The Paramount Theater has been used in several productions, including the supernatural drama Rose Red 2002 and the thriller Shadow of Fear 2004. During the filming of Rose Red, an actress fainted after hearing footsteps circling her in an empty dressing room. She later said she felt a cold hand resting on her shoulder, though no one was in the room. Crew members also complained that props moved on their own, shifting several feet overnight, as if someone was playing a cruel game. While filming Shadow of Fear, a cameraman ran out in panic after seeing a tall figure standing on the stage. When he looked again, the stage was completely empty. Another actor reported seeing a woman in a sparkling 1920s gown drifting across the balcony, smiling sadly before fading into thin air. The Paramount Theater may shine on the outside, but inside, the past refuses to rest. Number 9. Tacoma Union Station. Tacoma Union Station looks grand and beautiful from the outside, but once you step through its heavy doors, the air instantly feels colder. The building carries a strange silence, as if the walls remember every soul that passed through them. Late at night, guards hear footsteps echoing across the marble floors even when the building is locked. A ghostly woman in a long, old-style dress has been seen walking near the rotunda, her heels tapping softly before she vanishes. Others hear whispering from the empty ticket booths, as if forgotten travelers are still waiting for trains that will never come. Lights flicker in the hallways, and the elevator sometimes moves on its own, stopping at floors no one selected. Tacoma Union Station appeared in the dark comedy I Love You to Death 1990, where several scenes were filmed inside the station's grand interior. During production, the crew faced strange problems. A supporting actress felt someone tug her coat while filming, even though no one was behind her. Another actor said he kept seeing a man in an old conductor uniform standing on the second-floor balcony. Every time the actor looked up, the figure disappeared instantly. The most frightening incident happened to a cameraman who was adjusting his equipment late at night. He claimed he saw a shadowy figure crawling across the floor toward him. But when he turned on his flashlight, the hallway was empty. After that night, the crew refused to stay in the station after sunset. Tacoma Union Station remains beautiful, but its ghosts walk quietly, watching from the shadows. Number 10. Port Gamble Historic District. Port Gamble looks like a peaceful little town with pretty Victorian houses, quiet streets, and old trees swaying gently in the wind. But once you walk deeper into the town, an uncomfortable feeling begins to follow you. Locals say the entire district is built on restless energy. Visitors often hear footsteps behind them on empty streets as if someone invisible is trailing them. Doors in the museum houses slam on their own, and windows rattle even when there is no wind. The old Walker Ames house is the heart of the haunting. People see a pale woman standing in the upstairs windows, her face blank, staring down at the road. Children's laughter echoes from empty hallways, and shadowy figures drift across porches before melting into the walls. At night, the whole town feels alive with whispers. Port Gamble became famous when the horror comedy Zombies of Mass Destruction 2009 was filmed here. The crew thought it would be a fun experience filming in a charming historic town, but they quickly learned that the place had its own secrets. During one late-night shoot, an actress screamed after seeing a child run across the yard of the Walker Ames house. When the crew chased after the child, there was no one there, only fresh footprints in the dirt. Another actor refused to film upstairs after feeling a cold breath against his neck while practicing lines. Cameras malfunctioned near the old church, shutting off as if an unseen hand was pressing the buttons. One cameraman even claimed he saw a woman in a long white gown walk through a closed door. Port Gamble may look sweet and quiet, but its spirits move freely, and they do not like being ignored. Number 11. Old Olympia Brewery Grounds in Tumwater. The old Olympia Brewery Grounds in Tumwater stand like a broken giant beside the river, with crumbling brick walls, rusted metal doors, and empty windows that look like hollow eyes. People say the place never sleeps. Even during the day, the air feels heavy and cold, as if something unseen is watching from the dark corners. Visitors hear footsteps on the upper floors, even though those floors are too unsafe for anyone to walk on. Strange moans echo from the abandoned tunnels below the building, and some swear they have heard the sound of bottles clinking together, long after the brewery shut down. At night, shadowy figures appear near the old loading docks, drifting silently before fading into the darkness. Many locals refuse to go near the site after sunset. The grounds were used for scenes in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 1992, where its eerie look added to the film's suspense. During filming, the cast and crew experienced unsettling and unexplained events. A supporting actress said she felt someone brush past her on an empty stairwell and heard soft laughter beside her ear. She ran out crying and refused to go back inside alone. A cameraman working near the river saw a tall figure standing in a broken window frame. But when he looked again, the figure was gone. Equipment constantly malfunctioned around the old bottling room. Lights flickered, batteries drained instantly, and microphones picked up faint whispers that sounded like someone calling for help. The old Olympia Brewery Grounds may be abandoned, but its ghosts still wander the shattered halls, guarding secrets the living should never uncover. Number 12. The Davenport Hotel in Spokane. The Davenport Hotel in Spokane looks grand and beautiful from the outside, but when you walk through its old hallways, a strange coldness follows you. Many guests say they feel watched the moment they enter. Some hear soft footsteps behind them, but when they turn around, no one is there. The most terrifying story is about a ghostly woman dressed in an elegant 1920s gown. People see her standing near the ballroom, staring at them with empty eyes before disappearing into thin air. Staff members working alone at night often hear whispers calling their names, and some have felt invisible hands brushing against their backs. Elevators open by themselves, and room lights switch on even when the power is steady. A few housekeepers refuse to work on the top floors after reporting shadows moving from wall to wall. When the movie Benny in June 1993 was filmed here, the cast felt the hotel's strange energy immediately. Johnny Depp once said he felt someone tap his shoulder during a late-night shoot in one of the hallways, but no one was standing there. Mary Stuart Masterson reportedly saw a woman in an old-fashioned dress watching her from the end of the corridor. She thought it was an extra, but the crew said no extra had been hired for that scene. A cameraman had his equipment fall over 3 times, even though no one touched it, and the floor was completely flat. One actress claimed her room door kept unlocking by itself, as if someone was trying to come inside. Many people believe the ghosts of the Davenport enjoy watching the living, and they do not like being ignored. Number 13. Maryhill Museum Grounds in Goldendale. The Maryhill Museum Grounds in Goldendale sit high above the Columbia River, surrounded by quiet hills and wind that never seems to stop. People say the land is older than the museum itself, carrying strange energy that makes the air heavy and unsettling. Visitors often feel watched the moment they enter the gardens. Shadows move along the stone pathways, and cold pockets of air follow people around like invisible footsteps. At night, a faint humming sound drifts from the lower terraces, almost like someone singing an old hymn. Groundskeepers refuse to work after sunset because they have seen a tall, thin figure standing near the fountain, even though it has been dry for years. The figure never walks, he just appears, and when you blink, he is gone. Several well-known films use the Maryhill grounds for their dramatic scenery, including The Ring 2002, Twilight 2008, and Wild 2014. Actors and actresses experienced terrifying moments while filming. During The Ring, an actress felt someone grip her wrist so tightly she screamed, but no one was standing near her. On Twilight, a crew member saw a pale woman drifting behind the actors during a night shoot. When they checked the footage, the woman was not there, only a blurry shape stretching across the frame. During Wild, an actor heard whispers calling his name from inside the stone walls. Thinking it was part of the crew, he followed the sound, only to find an empty corner and the temperature suddenly dropping around him. At Maryhill, the spirits react to every camera, every voice, and every footstep, making it one of Washington's most haunted filming grounds. Number 14. Campbell House in Spokane. The Campbell House in Spokane is one of those places where the air feels wrong the moment you step inside. Built in 1898, this grand mansion looks beautiful from the outside, but people say the walls remember every tragedy that happened within them. Visitors often hear soft footsteps climbing the stairs when no one else is there. Doors open by themselves, and the old chandeliers shake gently as if touched by an invisible hand. Many believe the spirits of the original family still walk the halls, especially a young girl whose quiet sobs have been heard near the upstairs bedrooms. Tour guides have reported seeing her shadow slip around corners, always moving away, never letting anyone get close. The house has been used as a filming location for several famous productions, including The Changeling 1980, Rose Red 2002, and the mystery thriller Z Nation 2014 series. During The Changeling, an actress fainted after seeing a child-sized figure standing behind a reflection in a hallway mirror. No children were on set that day. While filming Rose Red, an actor felt someone tug the back of his coat during a scene. When he turned around, the hallway was empty, and the camera lights flickered violently before shutting off. During Z Nation, a crew member swore she heard a woman whisper, "Don't stay here," directly into her ear, even though she was completely alone in the parlor. Every film crew that enters the Campbell House leaves with a story because the spirits here do not stay silent. They watch, they warn, and sometimes they show themselves. Number 15. Lake Crescent Lodge. Lake Crescent Lodge looks peaceful at first glance, sitting quietly beside the deep blue water of Lake Crescent. But people who stay here say the silence hides something dark. The lake is known for its chilling history, especially the story of a woman whose body was found preserved in the icy depths years ago. Locals call her the Lady of the Lake. Guests at the lodge often hear soft footsteps outside their rooms late at night, even when no one is staying in the cabins nearby. Some have seen a pale woman drifting along the shoreline at dawn, her dress floating behind her as if she's still underwater. A worker once saw her standing at the end of the lodge hallway, dripping wet, before vanishing into thin air. Because of its eerie beauty, the lodge has been featured in several productions, including The Hunted 1995 and the outdoor thriller The Incredible Journey of Dr. Meg Laurel 1979. During the hunt, an actress reported seeing a figure moving in the lake while filming a quiet scene. When the crew checked, the water was completely still, but moments later the actress screamed, claiming a cold hand grabbed her ankle. During Dr. Meg Laurel, an actor heard whispering inside his empty cabin every night. Sometimes it sounded like someone calling his name, other times like someone gasping for air. Film crews say Lake Crescent Lodge never feels empty. Something watches from the dark trees, something moves under the water, and something walks the halls long after midnight, reminding everyone that the lake keeps its secrets alive. Number 16, Pacific County Courthouse. The Pacific County Courthouse stands high on a hill, overlooking the quiet town of South Bend. Its old stone walls and long echoing hallways already feel unsettling, but people who work here after sunset say the building carries a heavy, watchful presence. The courthouse is tied to the story of a man wrongly executed in the early 1900s. Many believe his spirit never left. Late at night, guards hear footsteps pacing the top floor, even though the doors are locked. Shadows move across the courtroom when the lights flicker, and some workers have felt someone breathing right behind them in the empty archive room. Because of its chilling atmosphere, the courthouse has been used in several productions, including the crime thriller The Kill Point 1990 and paranormal documentary scenes for America's Haunted Buildings 2004. While filming The Kill Point, an actress became terrified when a heavy courtroom door slowly opened on its own. The crew blamed the wind, but the building was sealed from every side. Later that evening, she felt her chair vibrate as if someone had kicked it from behind, though no one was near her. During the documentary shoot, a cameraman fainted after capturing a dark shape passing behind him in a reflection. The footage later showed a transparent face staring over his shoulder. One actor complained of cold fingers gripping his wrist during a tense dialogue scene, leaving faint red marks that stayed for hours. The courthouse does not hide its ghosts. It speaks, it moves, and it refuses to let visitors forget the pain buried in its history. Number 17, Oysterville. Oysterville looks like a peaceful little coastal village, but behind its historic homes and quiet streets lies one of Washington's oldest ghost stories. The town was once filled with oystermen, sailors, and families who struggled through storms, shipwrecks, and deadly outbreaks. Locals say many of those spirits never left. Visitors often hear boots crunching on the gravel road late at night, even though no one is there. Lantern lights appear between the trees near the old schoolhouse, floating gently before disappearing. Residents also talk about a woman in old-fashioned clothes who wanders the street at dusk, whispering the name of a child she lost long ago. Because of its eerie charm, Oysterville has been used in several productions, including the mystery drama The Road to Home 1992 and the supernatural documentary Haunted Coastlines of America 2007. During The Road to Home, an actress filming a night scene near the church suddenly froze. She later said she saw a man with soaking wet clothes staring at her from the marsh, but the crew saw nothing. Moments later, the sound tech captured faint whispering on his recorder, the voice repeating the actress's name. While shooting the documentary, a cameraman felt someone tug his jacket hard enough to pull him backward. When he turned around, he saw the cemetery gate swinging wildly, even though the air was completely still. Another actor reported hearing footsteps following him between takes, and every time he looked back, a dark shape slid behind the houses. In Oysterville, the past doesn't rest. It watches, follows, and makes sure no one forgets the lives lost along its haunted shoreline. Number 18, Camp Waskowitz in North Bend. Camp Waskowitz in North Bend lies deep in the forest, surrounded by towering pines and an eerie, constant whisper of the wind. Though it seems peaceful during the day, at night the camp transforms. Shadows dart between cabins and footsteps echo across the empty dining hall even when no one is there. Guests often hear faint laughter of children coming from the woods, and lantern lights sometimes float along the forest paths before vanishing. Many report seeing a tall man in an old scout uniform silently patrolling the grounds. Some claim icy hands brush their shoulders when walking through cabins after sunset, leaving them trembling with fear. The camp was used as the main filming location for the horror movie Grim Woods 2019. While shooting a night scene, the lead actress screamed when a cold, invisible hand gripped her wrist. The cameras captured a faint, shadowy figure moving behind her, though no one else was on set. An actor filming alone near the lake heard whispers calling his name, and the lights flickered violently, leaving him frozen in terror. Crew members reported strange sounds of chains and distant footsteps during takes, and one cameraman fainted after capturing a figure standing silently behind the actors in a darkened cabin. Camp Waskowitz does not hide its spirits. They watch, follow, and sometimes interact with anyone who enters, making it one of Washington's most haunted filming locations, where the forest itself seems alive with restless energy.